how we ended up living on a sailboat. It had always been a dream of ours since before we got married, but like all those things, you never really know how they're going to come to fruition. Jim and I met when we were a lot younger, and of course, we had a lot of fun. We got married, we got the jobs and the nice house, and everything was going really great for a while. And we would have been perfectly happy staying how it was. A catalyst is defined as an agent that provokes or speeds significant change or action. And unfortunately for me, the beginning of the catalyst was the BRCA gene diagnosis, which had my mother and my two aunts come up with breast cancer in their 40s, and then me being 40 had to face that as well, resulting in 11 surgeries over 4 years, inability to keep my spa job and stay home just because I was always getting surgery. Some of them I was hospitalized for, so it was really rough. At one point I thought I was going to die. So of course after that all you can do is get better, right? So what I did is I spent a year learning how to move my arms over my head again, and my goal was to be able to get my arms strong so I could go to a yoga class. And then I went to yoga class and cried and just slowly stretched my arm over my head because after 10 surgeries it was so hard. And my best friend made a deal with me that she would take me to Costa Rica on a yoga retreat. So I worked every day for a year and got myself ready to go, and healed myself with yoga. And at that time, we decided we would go and visit the 7 chakras of the world and do, a yoga retreat or class in each one someday, which was really great. And that could have been the end of the story, right? But that wouldn't have made it a catalyst, would it? It started when Aunt Bernie passed away. She started the cascade. We loved Aunt Bernie. Everyone did. She was 96, and it was great. She had a good life. We were so happy when she died. And she died on my birthday. And some people would say that's sad, but I took it as a compliment. So, yay, she died on my birthday. Loved her. But one of the problems was because I was taking so long to heal from my surgeries and hospitalized in a different state for 6 months, I couldn't help take care of my dad who had heart failure. So he did end up passing away shortly after I got back from my surgeries, and I had to take care of him while I was recovering, and unfortunately he did pass away at my house. And then when Jim turned to me and he gave me a big hug and he said, "I'm so sorry something happened to your dad and he had to pass away. If anything had happened to my mom ever, I would be devastated." And he gave me the biggest hug, and it was the sweetest thing. And the whole time we were taking care of my dad and myself, Jim had really wanted to go visit his grandparents for a final time, or at least see them again, because they were older. They're also in their 90s, and that's lovely and blessed and everything, but he just wanted to see them again. So the weird part was, as soon as my dad passed, Jim's grandfather had a stroke 2 days later, and we went to his nursing home and saw him, and he shed a tear because he knew we were by his deathbed, which was lovely. He knew we were there, and he died literally 1 week after my father did. So as much as we wanted to stop and grieve my father, we really needed to be there for Jim's grandmother, who just lost her husband, who was a military veteran. He used to fly helicopters in so many different wars. And so he is a pilot, and Jim's uncle is a pilot. Jim's a pilot. Grandma Eve was very proud of that. So Jim and I rented an airplane and flew to his grandfather's funeral, and his grandmother knew, and she just shed a tear at the beauty of that, and made her feel so much better. And we had such a lovely time with that experience in the small plane, even though Jim was probably terrified we were going to crash. I thought he could do it. And then 2 weeks after my father passed away, in the same week, Jim's mother and my uncle, who I became really close to when I was in Arizona healing from my surgeries were both diagnosed with cancer and given a 3-month prognosis same week. So since Jim's mother was given 3 months to live, Jim and I stopped everything that we could in our lives to spend time with her. And then we found her the best doctors possible, which were at the Mayo in Rochester. So we went out to Iowa, where she had her home from her childhood that her dad had left her. And we stayed in Iowa and took care of her and ate vegan food and did the therapies there, which stretched her life out for 2 years. And we had the best time possible that we could with his mother. Meanwhile, we have 2 very close friends of the family pass away. And then 2 months after my father passed away, his dog that he loved forever passed away. And they had their ashes spread together. And they were very much in love. But Jim and I helped put her to sleep too. And then 1 year after my father passes away, we were lighting a lantern for him on the beach. And at the exact moment we're lighting the lantern for my father, my aunt passes away. 3 days after that, her husband passes away, which was right around their wedding anniversary. So lots of meanings with that. And then even Bruno passes away, my Uncle Carl's dog. So everybody has to go with their dog within reasonable time, it seems. During all of this, Jim has to break his fib on his calf leg and just break his calf in half, which, trust me, I wanted to choke him out by this point. I was like, are you kidding me? No. I just gotten out of the hospital with my father, had heart stuff, and Jim puts me back in helping him with his leg. And then Jim squeezes in 2 hip replacements right in the middle. And he's not even 50 yet. Like crazy. So that was really weird. We didn't even see it coming. Maybe it's from scuba diving or being a pilot. I don't know. Whatever. He got 2 new hips. And then by that point, we're like, please, dear God, we just need the boat. We need to go. We're going to just die soon anyway. Everyone around us is dying. We need to just stop. We've been helping everyone else. We've been helping ourselves. We just, our lives are so disrupted. We can't even get them normal anymore. So we got the boat. And it's been something to keep our minds really, really happy and really, really positive, and just something to think about and work towards a new goal. And we were starting to feel a lot better. We went to the Bahamas Christmas last year, and then unfortunately my aunt, who was very close to, took care of me when I had all my surgery. She passed away from COVID, which was so unfortunate. She was the healthiest she'd ever been in her life, and that was terrible. But at this point, we're just doing what we can do and being happy, trying to be happy. And that's our new boat, Victory. So we've overcome all of the things. More people are going to die. And you know what? It's just part of life. And we're going to love them through the whole thing. We're going to love ourselves through the whole thing. And if we fall, we're going to get back up and we're going to be victorious. So, sailing vessel Victory. And yes, it is starting to make me feel better. Thank you. In so many ways. You have to live your life. That's what it's about.